Hi, and welcome to the dinner agenda. This is Bo.
And this is CeeLo.
Hello, CeeLo. How you doing?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I've got an update for you, but I want to know how you are first.
Well, I can give you an update on my knee.
Tell me, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 weeks, twice a week physio. And
Hmm.
she's like, it should be halfway better by now. Like, we're not making progress. Go to
Yeah.
the doctor. Got in to see the doctor. I think I half updated some of this stuff. Got in to see the doctor. I'm in so much pain. Like, every day is so
Mhm.
much pain. I am
Yeah.
like crying from pain, like physical pain. I'm crying because I'm so depressed about the pain.
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I
When you
do.
have
I
like
get
a
it.
physical injury like that, and I'm
Hmm.
just like, I'm at
Hmm.
my wit's end kind of thing, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
It's funny because my sister listened to, I think, the last episode or maybe the one before that.
Hmm.
And she called me and she was like, I just listened to the pod. How's your knee? What's going? I can tell something is up with you.
Gosh.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
come in. Anyways, all
Yeah.
that aside, when I saw her last Monday, she gave me a shot of Depomedrol in my
Yep.
knee,
Yep.
which is a steroid and a thing to help inflammation,
Yes.
etc. The
Yes.
swelling is quite down.
Good.
Like my pants are not stretching over my fucking enormous knee anymore. Just a
Yeah.
little bit.
That's,
But
yeah. Yeah.
anyways, when she did it, I have to keep my leg as straight, like flexed out straight as possible, right? And then she goes in there with the shot, but she's like, get it straight, straight, straight. And I'm like, ow, 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 okay, okay, okay.
Oh.
And then she like turns around to do something. I'm like, okay, I can hold it straight for like,
A second.
like, and it's not even that, it's not even 100% straight, right? I'm like, so you tell me when I got to do it and I will push through kind of thing. And she's like,
Yeah.
okay. She's like, okay, I'm ready. So I held it straight and she goes in there with the like lidocaine or whatever. And I'm like, that hurts. I don't like it.
I
And
know.
then
Mhm,
the next,
mhm.
she started injecting it. Bo, I was fucking bawling, sobbing on the table. Like, stop, stop.
Oh,
Right.
CeeLo.
It
I'm
hurt
so
so much.
yeah.
As soon as it was over, it felt a little bit better, like the pain from the actual needle. I consider myself someone with a push through kind of pain tolerance, like, you know?
You're cutting in and out, by the way.
Mm,
It's just like, "Oh." That's okay. We'll keep going, but I just, we might wanna check this before we actually publish it, and it might be
it's
fine.
all good.
Yeah,
Um,
so you
anyways,
pushed through. You pushed through,
so I
and
pushed
it
through
yes.
and then I was still quite teary-eyed leaving there,
Yeah.
and she didn't say anything to me about take it easy, go home and rest, nothing, none of that. I'm downtown, so I go to work as I had planned, and like later in the afternoon, I said to my boss, I'm like, I gotta leave because I am dying here. I'm in so much pain.
Yeah.
Left to come home, took Tylenol, which I never do, laid down on the sofa,
Sorry, this is the
and
day of the shot?
the day of the shot.
Okay. Okay.
And Mel's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not okay." And then she's like getting really worried because I don't usually.
Yeah. You don't. Yeah.
So
You
she
don't
calls the
usually give
doctor's office. She's
in
like,
to
"I'm calling on behalf of Karen. Blah 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 blah. She's in a lot of pain. I don't know if this is normal." The next day, the receptionist from the doctor's office called me in the morning, and I'm like, "I feel 100 times better. Like the knee is walking better. It feels
Yes.
better." I'm like,
Yes.
"I'm sorry." She was very
Yeah.
worried about me.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done the same to her, just so that you know, CeeLo, I've done the exact same to her when I've had there are times when the injections go really well
Yeah.
and the side effects are great, and then there are times when I am in excruciating pain, and in those moments when you're in such excruciating pain, you're convinced she's done something wrong. Or,
Yes.
like I had said to her one time, "Did you I called the office and said, "Did you use the steroid that I'm allergic to, or did you use?" Because like this, I'm in so much pain, and
Something's wrong.
yeah, so she knows. I think she's used to it, but um, it sometimes takes a couple of days for your knee to just kind of be like, okay, I'm okay. But for you, it was 24 hours. So you're feeling better. It's
Yes.
actually working.
Feeling better, swelling's down, walking better.
Amazing.
Physio from like appointment to appointment. There's a little bit of improvement in my extension, in
Good.
my strength. We just have to try and straighten my leg out because it's like crazy
Yeah.
knock-kneed right now. So I'm
Yeah.
very aware of it now. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad that it's actually working. And so did you talk to her about getting the gel injection, the
Yeah, she gave
Durolane?
me a prescription for that as well, and I took it
Okay.
in.
Okay.
I haven't filled it yet, but I will. But I kind of want to like ride this wave, and and I don't know, like, does it make sense to get that on top of what I have, or should I wait a little bit, or
When
I don't
is
know.
your like when do you have your tests to find out? Like, aren't you going
Oh,
for imaging?
yeah, she booked an MRI and they called me. She said it's probably going to be about a month. I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. And then they called me. It's July 28th. I'm like, okay.
Oy, oy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I guess you can wait until July 28th to see if, what's, but if she's convinced that it's osteoarthritis, it probably would be okay to get the injection. But like, did she say anything to you about it? Like, did she say to wait or
No,
no, right?
she
Hmm.
didn't say to wait.
Okay.
She was more concerned about whether or not I had health insurance that would cover it because it's very
Yeah.
expensive.
It's extremely expensive medication. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So she
Hmm.
talked to me about that part of it, but not about the other. But now that I've got so much relief from the one she gave me, I'm like, I'm kind of tempted to wait it out.
Sure. Well, you know what?
Especially if there's timing, right? Like you can't
Yeah.
get this every other week. Like you got to wait 4 or 5 months or something and shit like that.
For the steroid, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what then? Wait until you get your MRI in July, see what the results are, and then talk to her about what the right course of action would be. But if you start having a little bit more pain prior to, your appointment for the
Yeah.
MRI, maybe get it done. Like it's going to be the same process where she has to go in and freeze your knee, which is painful, right? Because she's got to get right in there.
Yeah.
And then she's got to put this long needle with this gel-like substance that she's going to push through.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, once your knee is frozen, it's generally okay. But there are times, CeeLo, just like I said, like there are
Okay,
just
wait.
some good shots and bad shots, right? Sometimes it's easy, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's really painful.
I feel like that's a song. Good shots and bad shots. Um, does sh when she does the gel shot, does she use ultrasound to guide
No,
where she's putting it?
no, no. She feels around and she can tell where she's, and I guess as she's getting the needle in, she's like, "Oh, I know that I'm in the right spot if I'm hitting, I guess, a certain area or whatever." Like, I guess she just knows. I think she does it so often that
Yeah.
I guess that's her thing. But yeah,
The other thing that
I
kind of
don't know.
surprised me is that if you're gonna bother to put freezing in there to help with
Hmm.
the pain, maybe
Hmm.
you put that in and wait a minute
It
before you go in with the next, because that shit had no chance to work. It was boom, boom, one after the other. I'm like,
it should work pretty
"It
quickly.
did not work. Did not work."
You're
I
such a
cry, I cry. I feel like such a baby.
you are flipping nuts. Okay, well, I'm glad that you're feeling better.
I'm not comfortable with public displays of emotion.
I know you're not. I know you're not. And I know that you're like, I can push through, I can push through, I can push through. So for you to break out in tears, it's a thing. Like I remember when you were, oh God, I don't even know how old you were, but you were getting your first tattoo. It was that gecko that you got on the side of your rib or whatever. And you were all like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do blah, blah. Anyways, so you go and you are lying there and the tattooist starts doing it, and I can see the blood draining from your face, and you're becoming very pale, and and I'm just like looking at, oh my God, it looks like little sewing machines, blah, 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 blah. And then at one point you were like, would you just shut up and stop calling it a sewing machine?
I think, like, the idea of it was all fine and dandy, but I don't think before you get one, you kinda put the sewing machine needle into your skin part. You don't think that through all the way.
Like, but you were trying so hard to keep your cool, to be like strong
Oh.
and push through. And then meanwhile, you were
Also,
just like, that was funny.
since then, I have heard that tattoos on the ribs, not such a good idea.
Yeah, any of the areas of the bone. Like I have one that's on the top of my foot, and
Yes.
jeez, oh my God, that was fucking painful. Like painful. I ended up getting it. Funny story about this. I got this tattoo at Friday the 13th Port Dover event. Okay, so
Of
like,
course you did.
yeah. Well, every Friday the 13th in Port Dover, Ontario, all the bikers congregate, in this town or whatever, and they show off their bikes. They've got like vendors, and the Hells Angels are there. You know what I mean? It's like a really interesting, fun little thing to experience every once in a while.
Yeah.
Anyways, I ended up booking a tattoo there that one of those days on the top of my foot, and I was right next to this Hells Angel biker guy who's getting like his entire fucking back done. And he's there, he's getting his whole back done. I'm getting these like four little dog paws on the top of my foot. And I'm like, oh my God, this is
I
so
love
painful.
it.
I can't deal with it. It's so painful. And this guy, this big motherfucking guy, CeeLo, who looks like he was ready to pull out a gun and just like shoot everybody down, he turns, he's like, it's okay. Breathe through it. Bitch, just breathe with me. It's okay. So we were
Let me
just,
hold your hand.
yeah,
I
right.
got you, Bo. I
It was
got you,
fucking
girl.
hysterical. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yes,
That
I
is
can
so
attest to the fact that any bony areas are probably not the best.
funny.
Yeah. Like I got one here on
You
the
said
inside of
bony.
my arm, and it's not
Yeah,
bony, and it was easy.
compared to the top of the foot.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. There's a little bit more fat there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, did you just call me fat? Terrible
Absolutely not.
fucker.
Absolutely not.
Um,
I have
hmm,
a question for you.
tell me.
So last week we talked about a friend of yours
Oh,
with
yes.
a bit of a narcissistic mother
I got an
fucker.
update. Mhm.
And yeah, I wanted to check in. I'm like, so we were kind of torn. Like we have one side of us was like,
Mhm.
fuck you. And the other
Yep.
side of us was like, just,
Yep.
grin and bear it. And I'm curious to know, one, what advice did you end up giving her?
Mhm.
And two, do you
Yes.
know what the
What's
result
happened?
was? Or yeah, what
Okay.
happened?
So I've got a couple of updates, and I'm glad that you mentioned
Mhm.
it. This was on my list to kind of bring up. Um,
Good.
but okay, so first of all, the advice that I gave her that day that we were talking was to maybe just not do anything, right? Like just kind of
Yeah.
ignore the fact that you've got this information and just carry on, right? Don't
Yeah.
acknowledge, don't provide a feed, da da da. And so then you and I chatted afterwards on our episode, and I had spoken to her afterwards, and I said, I said, I think I'm going to stick with what I advised you. And she said,
Yeah.
as she was digesting that too, because, couple of days had gone by at this point, and as she was digesting it too, she said, I'm starting to kind of think that that was probably the route that she wanted to go as well. So
Right.
she has chosen to ignore the information that she has, and she's just carrying on as if she doesn't even know it, and she's dealing with the hurt of knowing the information, you know what I mean? That her mom
Yeah.
was like discarding her, and so she's dealing with that hurt, and she's going to work with her therapist to handle that, but she's decided not to acknowledge. But the funny thing, CeeLo, is we had asked if there were any listeners that out there that had some advice, and that we were open to hearing, and we actually got quite a few responses, like people who were messaging us to give
Yep.
their take, and all of them, pretty much all of them, were in line with what we had talked about as which is like, ignore it. Like the mom is looking for a feed, She's looking for a reaction, whether it be a negative or a positive reaction. So there was a lot of affirmation that way where people were like, ignore it and don't acknowledge it. Don't, because it's just going to give the mom what she's looking for.
Yeah.
Funny
Yeah.
thing is, one listener in particular reminded me of a term that's used to describe someone who does the narcissist's bidding. So they're referred to as flying monkeys. And
Where
so,
have I heard that before? Why I've heard
right,
that before.
right. So basically, what it is, and how it got its name was from the Wizard of Oz movie, where the Wicked Witch, she had, if you remember the original Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch had those flying monkeys that she would send out to do her bidding, right? Go and
Okay.
attack, go and do that. So these flying monkeys would do whatever they could to please their evil witch. And so it's kind of that same premise. That's how that term kind of came into play, where the narcissist, they will gather people around them
Mhm.
that will do their bidding, right? And usually, so like we talked a little bit about one of my friend's siblings, right? How like the dynamic. One of them was like, "I'll just
Yeah.
always please. I'll always." One of them is the favorite. She's
Yeah.
the scapegoat, obviously. So, the fact that one of her siblings told her this information, this particular listener was like, I wonder if that is the mom's flying monkey. So she essentially sent that sibling out in the world with the information, knowing that that sibling would then go back and tell her. You know what I mean? Tell the other daughter that she was considering cutting her out, cutting her off, that kind of thing. And
All
it's
right.
called a flying monkey. So it's just interesting that one of the listeners kind of mentioned that, because I was like, oh gosh, it's been a while since I've heard that term. and
Heard the term.
and yeah, and she's right. I think she's probably right that was possibly what was occurring.
Yeah,
So
100%. I question that myself. It's like if somebody came to me and said something hurtful and negative about you,
mhm.
I'm not going to tell you. What would
Really?
be the purpose of that?
Well, okay, let's get into this then. So hold on a second. If if it was like I was being duped by someone,
Oh, then I would tell you.
yeah.
Girl,
But
I
like, I
got your
mean,
back.
yeah, I that I know you do, for sure. I know you do. But I guess if it's like, are you saying that it's more like the situation of, like in that like where like somebody that I don't really give a shit about or don't know, like what scenario
Put
would you not tell
your
me?
words together. I think
Kiss
well, I
my
just think
ass.
that
There's a good statement right there. Okay, go. Yeah.
when there's something hurtful said,
Yes.
then you have like you somebody says something hurtful about
Mhm.
someone else to you. Then you have the option of is is this person someone I want to make sure you're aware of because they don't have
Okay.
your best interest of heart?
Got it.
Is this person just mean and negative and sharing the information really does no benefit other than bring you down?
Right.
Not going to share it. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I think it's
Mhm.
like it's a bit of a
Mhm.
measured approach where like if we work together,
Mhm.
right? Let's say you and
Mhm.
I work together and Sally comes up to me and she's like, "Oh, I can't stand that shirt Bo's wearing. It's horrible. I hate it and she wears it every Thursday and I hate it." I would be like, "Well, then don't fucking look at her." I'm not
Yeah.
going to turn around and then
Yeah.
tell you
Got it.
unless, like my ulterior motive is there. I hate Sally and now I want you to hate Sally with me. You know
Got
what
it.
I mean? Like that's
I
the
do.
only
I do.
I'm not gonna tell you that. That's not
Yeah.
nice stuff. I don't like it.
It's not, and quite frankly, so, like, so I agree with that, like, how you've explained it from that scenario, because I
Yeah.
find that if you were to say something like that is somebody that I wouldn't really give a shit about, or that I wouldn't really know, and so it's not, you're right, it's not worth hurting my feelings over, because there's no warning
Yeah.
to be given. It's a nasty comment that does nothing but hurt my feelings, right?
Well, Yeah, and I
But
think you need to go back to your friend and say exactly that. Like, what was the motive behind her
mhm,
siblings sharing that information that the mom
mhm,
had
mhm. Yeah,
said?
agreed, agreed. Yeah, for
Evil,
sure. Yeah,
evil intent.
yeah. Well, we did talk about that too, and she does feel that it's possible that that was the case also,
Mm.
right? So,
There's a monkey that's
interesting.
flying around that house, you know what I'm saying? Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Well, you'll have to
yeah,
keep us posted. You'll have to keep us
I will.
posted on that. I
So,
feel
I have
badly for
another
her.
update about the glasses, transition lenses.
Okay, let's transition to a new topic. Ha.
You
No,
didn't, did you? You just
I
did. You
did.
just
I
did.
did.
Okay, so you had asked me to let you know what these transition lenses are like in the car. Okay, so I have an update. I have purchased two pairs of glasses, both of them from different stores. Okay.
Yeah.
One store is Lens Crafters.
Yes.
Okay. The other store is Eye Optique. Now, Lens Crafters offers an enhancement to the transition lenses that they actually transition darker in the car, whereas iOptique did not offer that option, right? It's
Okay.
just a regular transition. So I was wearing the glasses that I got at Lens Crafters that have this thing for the car. CeeLo, they
Yeah.
get dark. They get dark in the car. So you would
Good.
like those ones. So I would say if you were going to do transition, wherever you go, ask for
Make sure they
the,
have that.
yeah, you know what I mean? That said, though, I find it bizarre that the glasses that I got from iOptique seem to be more precise from a prescription perspective. And I don't know if that's the coating or if it's just how they've done the glasses, like the coating of the stuff that they use for their transition. I have no idea, but I did notice that too, so I'm a little perplexed by that.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
I guess it depends. Like, it
Mhm.
makes a big difference. You have to go somewhere where it's going to be a decent
Mhm.
um place to get your glasses done. Like I can buy a 3-pack of readers from Costco and yeah, they do the trick, but then I
Mhm.
go and I get my actual reader prescription and a pair of
Mhm.
glasses from
Mhm.
like the prescription from the optometrist, which is
Yeah.
basically the same, whatever, 1.5, whatever.
Yeah.
But then you go to a proper lens place and you put those glasses on, you're like, "Damn, I can see way better."
That's right. Yeah.
But they're basically the same prescription, so
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that maybe it's the quality
interesting.
of the lens, perhaps?
Yeah, yeah, or even to your point, the coding.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Um, what did you get up to on the weekend? Did you happen on any more estate sales?
Did oh yes, I did. I did go to an estate sale
Yeah.
on when did I go? Sunday. It was on Sunday. CeeLo, it was in I'm trying to remember the neighborhood. It was a very well-to-do neighborhood. Oh my goodness. The houses were so beautiful.
Oh,
So
yeah?
beautiful. My God. So at one point, we were there and I just kind of did a quick kind of walkabout and I didn't really see anything that was really kind of grabbing me. And most of the stuff at this particular sale was just too expensive anyways. But anyway, so I left my crew there and they were just kind of going around or whatever. And then I started to just take a little walk in the neighborhood while I was waiting for them to finish their browsing.
Mhm.
CeeLo, my God, these houses, some of them are just like I sit
Gorgeous.
there, yeah, like I'm looking at these gates and you can't get into the property. And I'm just
Mm.
looking at the beautiful bigness of these houses and the
Beautiful
beautiful
bigness.
bigness and the landscaping and
I
it just looks
know.
and I'm just like what do you do and who are you? Like I want to know how you got this big beautiful house, why you have so much money. I want to know who you are. You know what I mean? Like I was
Yeah,
just so
I
curious.
know.
Yeah.
I understand that completely. I do the
Yeah.
same thing. I'm like, we make decent money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a $7 million home, though? It's out of
No.
my price range, man.
Oh my God,
It's
it's out of my price range
bananas.
too. Are you kidding me?
Well,
But
and I think like, um, when we host things here, like we did
Mhm,
Easter,
mhm,
and we have all these people that I
mhm,
call my family over,
mhm, mhm,
17 of them or whatever, 20 of them.
mhm, mhm,
And it's at that time that I'm like, okay, I'm probably good now to move out of the city a little bit. You know what I
mhm.
mean?
I do, I do.
And get a bigger house. But then you go and you look and you're like, everything's over $1 million.
Oh, yeah,
And yeah,
easy.
it would be a little bit bigger, but not that much bigger.
Mhm. And
And
then
then I think
also
about the
yeah,
commute time. I'm like, meh.
so there's the commute time because you're still working, but then also once your kids leave the house, CeeLo, it's like,
Bye.
yeah,
Sorry.
but then you don't need such a large home because that's just more house to maintain. People tend to try to downsize, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know if it's even
Yeah,
worth
I
it.
I hear you on that, but then it's like both you and your spouse are home all the time together all the time. And maybe a big house wouldn't be so bad to
Do you
have like
think
space from people. I'm just
I
joking.
I I understand. We're talking laundry, AKA Mel. So I
Yeah.
understand.
How about those
But
clean socks?
do you think that a larger house would keep
No,
Mel away from exactly. She
no.
would find you
She'll find me.
and yeah. So
She
it
love
doesn't
me. Yeah, no, it's all good. Although talking about Mel reminded me
matter. Mhm.
of she had to travel for work recently. She was gone for a week.
Yeah.
Leading up to this trip, she's like, "I'm going to leave my personal phone at home." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Why?" And she's like, "What if they ask me to open it and they see that I've got like elbows up on my thing and fucking hate Trump and all this stuff on there, right?" And I'm like, I don't think they're gonna do that. Like, I think that's just blown, like, I'm sure they have done it here and there, but it gets, like, blown out and broken telephone stories told along the line and whatever. She ended up leaving and so I'm like, "Oh my god, I need to talk about this on the pod." She's like, "Wait till I get back safely." I'm like, "Okay." She's back safely.
Okay.
Yeah, and, yeah, she left her personal phone at home, which I thought was
Interesting.
yeah,
So she had no trouble though?
no,
Okay. So it's
yeah,
funny that you mentioned this, CeeLo, because
nothing.
just today, literally today, you know when you get those little feeds that come
Yes?
through like Instagram and Facebook and whatever. Anyways, there was this one lawyer who was basically saying, here's a summary of the new uh, travel advisories for the United States, and they were just basically saying, make sure that you are free, like open to provide the um, oh my God, the border patrol, the border. Shut the fuck up. I'm in menopause. I forget words. You keep making fun of me. I'm going to smack you, girl. No, but really,
Girl,
girl.
that's my
So,
girl.
like, you're going to basically, you might be asked to give your access codes to the phone over to the security folks, the immigration
And
officers, whatever the fuck they're called.
this trustworthy
And
information is
I,
from your social media feed, yeah?
listen,
Just
I hear
checking. Just checking.
CeeLo. I'm not saying that I'm just saying it just came through my feed, and so
I
I get
understand.
it, but
I think there's a lot of hype around that. I don't think
possibly.
I think she even said like at going into the States, like they
Yeah.
didn't even ask her for her passport. It was total
What?
chill. Yeah.
Oh Lord. You know
Yeah.
what? Okay, maybe you should test this out.
Like
Maybe you should
she scanned it or whatever, but yeah.
you should cross the border with a T-shirt on that says, "I'm a big lesbo
Yeah.
and I hate Trump," and let's just see what
Okay.
happens.
Okay.
You
I'll
want
do
to do
that.
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna do that?
We'll just roll up at the border and be like one of those people. Do you ever watch that show? Oh, fuck, what's it called? Border Patrol or something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Border security or whatever it is. Yeah,
Border
yeah,
security.
yeah, yeah. I watched it.
I'll be one of those people like at Niagara Falls or whatever that's just like, I missed my exit. I made the wrong turn. I don't want to come into the US of A. I want to go back to my home in Canada.
And then
Yeah.
I'll be beside you, CeeLo, with a T-shirt
Yeah.
on that says, "I'm not with her," and an arrow pointed towards you. That's what I'll
You
do.
can have a t-shirt on that says Target or bust or something, right? Anyways, we were talking
Well,
about your weekend and your
mm,
fantasy home shopping, and then I sidetracked us.
that's okay. Well,
Yeah. Squirrel.
yeah, exactly. So,
Mm.
yes, I did go to one estate sale. I
Good.
actually had a very interesting week though last week, CeeLo. I
Mm.
had a very amazing opportunity to actually close the Toronto Stock Exchange. So, yeah, like, when you push the button to close it for the day, and the alarms go off and da 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 da, and all this confetti falls all over this from the sky, and it's like
Seriously?
the market is closed. Yeah, I got the opportunity to do that. It was like a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I was just lucky to be able to experience it. So I was able to do that.
That is so
Yeah.
cool. You're practically famous.
Yeah, yes, of
Can I
course.
get
So
your
I'll see if I
autograph?
can post a picture.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
super cool. I would love that. That's like,
yeah.
is there a big trading floor there? Like
So
where that happens or?
everything is electronic now. So I think in the old
Yeah.
days they used to do the whole like paper, like buy, sell, all
Yeah,
these
yeah.
men running around trying to, and now it's just all electronic. So it's not, you
Bunch of
know,
people with headsets on and
yeah.
computers.
But I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was really kind of cool.
Oh, that's super awesome. I
Yeah.
didn't do anything so exciting.
Well, what
Mm.
did you do for Mother's Day? Because it was the Mother's Day weekend last weekend.
Well, yes, it was.
Yeah.
We went up and opened the trailer up north.
You did. So it's open already.
Yeah, it's
Okay. Good for
open
you.
already,
Mhm.
and normally, like, the park opens on the Friday, and I
Mhm.
usually take the Friday off of work, and I load up my car,
Mhm.
and I get up there, and I do all the work and get everything sorted, and then Mel will arrive with the kids, like, Saturday morning or something like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
But because I'm not supposed to be lifting and doing and taking care of my knee and all that crap, we decided that Mel and Nathaniel and I would go up all together on Saturday. So
Mhm.
it was, and they did a ton of work. Nathaniel was up on the roof to do the gutters, and poor Mel was exhausted by the end of the day Saturday because she was
Mm.
doing all the
Everything
work.
physically,
And
yeah.
I mean, I was
Mhm.
contributing, but
Mhm.
not to the
Mhm.
extent that I might normally be able to. And very
Mhm.
slowly. I was very slow moving, but
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, so everything's opened up. It was a beautiful weekend. It was
Was.
sunny and
Mhm.
a little cool in the evening, but
Mhm.
a nice, two nice sunny days up there. And it was like, yes, summer's close. I can't wait.
Yeah, you could feel it. Did you get the boat in the
Mhm.
water?
No, we pick up the boat this coming weekend,
Okay.
depending on the forecast, because right now it looks a little rainy.
Rainy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Good. I'm so
So we'll
happy that
see.
it's opened. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to pick a date and you guys can come up.
Yes. 100%.
I think there's
100%.
a few for sale.
Yeah. Do you wanna know what's funny about that? This would turn your googly eyes
Mhm.
off of my focus. So, it's funny that you mentioned that as well. Ironically, Dave and I were outside, so we spent some time gardening this weekend as well,
Yeah.
just getting the garden beds ready, cleaning
Yeah.
everything up,
Clean
putting
it
the
all up.
new soil down, da 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 da. And I did go to a flower store and like a
Mhm.
greenhouse kind of thing. I just bought two things. Okay, just two things
Yeah.
to plant. I will wait until the long weekend that's coming, that's approaching, because
Yeah.
the weather tends to turn warmer. But I
Warm
did
up a
buy two
bit.
things that I did plant because I was just like, oh, they're so nice. I just want to get them in now. So,
Yeah.
anyways, but we were sitting out on the porch after we had done all this work or whatever, and we were just I had made some coffee, and we were just sitting out on the front porch. And I was just like, oh, it's so beautiful. It's so peaceful. Look how everything's so calm. The front lawn just looks like this green velvet, carpet.
Yeah.
And the trees are starting to, the leaves are all
Fill
starting to
in.
come out on the trees. And the birds are chirping. It just felt so nice. And I actually legitimately turned to him and said, we are in such a great spot here. We don't need a
Mhm.
trailer. Like, we don't need a trailer like CeeLo and Mel because we've got it all right here. And he's like, you know what? I couldn't agree with you more. And it's
Yeah.
funny that you just said to me, and there's some that are for
For
sale.
sale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. A trailer park life, baby.
I know, I know, I know.
It
You know
is
what?
what I do like about it, other than the fact that it's cheaper than a cottage. It's a
Yes,
lot less maintenance than a cottage.
and it's
It
beautiful.
has like,
Mhm.
if you've spent time camping in
Mhm.
your childhood or growing up where you have kind of that community of people and neighbors and the friendliness. Like
Yes.
there's always someone to chat with or sit by a fire, or you could sit and do nothing,
Yeah.
right? Like you could. It's easy enough to do both of
Mhm.
those things, and
Mhm.
I like it for that. It's fun, and being
Good.
out on the water,
Yeah. That
nothing
is
beats
nice
that.
too.
It feels like a charmed life. When you go
Yes.
for a sunset cruise,
Yeah.
so good.
I
Yeah,
I give you that for sure. I really enjoy being taken out in your boat, and
yeah,
it's a lovely adventure when you do it for sure.
yeah, yeah.
I totally get why you're into it. I do. I do. And you know, it's funny. Dave has he's got this fantasy, CeeLo, that when we decide that we're going to retire,
Mhm.
that we're going to sell this house,
Yeah,
we're going to move to a condo,
yeah,
and we're going to spend our winters in the condo unless we're
yeah,
traveling. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But you know, the summers would be at a trailer. So we'd end up getting a trailer. So we'd live the entire summer at the trailer park,
yep,
right? Like the nice trailer park, not like the,
yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
Um you know.
I
So we
understand.
yeah, like the one like you guys have, right? But like
Yeah, yeah.
so like we'd spend our summers there, and then our winters would be either we'd go someplace warm, or we would just stay in
Travel.
the condo, or you know,
Yeah,
whatever the story is, but not have to maintain the house anymore. So Dave
yeah.
has this fantasy. So I don't know, never say never, right?
Yeah, I'll send you the for sale listings just to take a look at.
Okay. All right. Because then you know me, I'm gonna be like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at
Um,
that. Do you
mm,
remember how close I was to buying one?
I know.
I actually had and paid for one of those guys to come up and actually do the appraisal, like like they go around, make sure
Yeah,
that everything's okay. And
yeah,
like that's how serious it was, you know?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is, we love it so much. I was
Hmm.
saying to someone, like, this will be our 18th year up there. How
Can you
crazy is
believe it?
that?
That is crazy. And do you think you'll keep this throughout retirement as well?
Yeah, I think that we share the same plan as Dave. To be honest, that
Oh, okay.
that's our summer spot.
Yeah.
Like that warm summer lake,
Yeah.
small town,
Yeah.
chill,
Yeah.
golf, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And then same thing through the winters, just home
Travel.
or doing some traveling,
Hmm.
finding that warm sunshine through the winter. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
But for us, we love it. It's worth it. But
good. Good. I'm glad.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked before about the TTC
Yes. Oh no.
and the fact that I'm taking the TTC to work now, right?
Yeah.
I do have a tale of the TTC to share that happened. Oh my God, was it this morning or yesterday morning?
Oh
I think it
God.
I think it was yesterday morning because I had physio this morning.
Okay.
But the story that or what I was going to ask you is I'm going through books like fast.
Okay.
So I'm reading on my route home.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I need
Oh,
some book recos.
yeah. You know what? Let me mark this down because I have to get you educated. That's the book that I have that you were going to pick up at the estate sale that I said I had a copy of.
Yes.
I'll get that book for you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll take a look as soon as we're done. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm starting. I I need some more books to read. So I'm
Yeah.
looking for recommendations.
I
Drop them
have
in
a
the
full bookshelf.
Instagram. DM us.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll come to your house and
I
you
was
could do
gonna
the
say,
same.
yeah, because I have a whole big bookshelf filled with really, really good books that you'll
Yeah.
probably really enjoy. So,
Okay. I'll come
yeah,
and steal.
yeah.
Um, so maybe we end on my
TTC
Tales
tail.
of the TTC.
Lord, okay, go for it, please.
Sitting there on my way to work. So it's
Hmm.
7:30ish, 8 o'clock in the morning,
Hmm.
reading my book.
Hmm.
And stops, opens the door, people get on,
Hmm.
I think the door's closed, and I could smell weed. Like
Yeah.
whoever just got on, I'm reading my book, right? Whoever
Yeah.
just got on and walked past me, like just took a puff off this joint.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, that is some
Strong.
strong smell. And I'm not going to be judgy, but did I mention it was 7:30ish in the morning? Anyway, I'm sitting there reading and I'm like he's not sitting right next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it smells so strong. And I'm starting to think, oh my God, I'm going to be like high by the time I get to work because the smell is so strong. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, the
Yeah.
driver stops, opens the doors, and he says, "You can't smoke on the streetcar. You need to get
Oh,
off the streetcar." And I'm like, "Oh my God, somebody's
he was
smoking." He was
smoking?
smoking it in the back of the streetcar. So
Oh
then
my
I'm like,
God, CeeLo. Oh my
I
God.
kind of want to turn around and look, but I'm not gonna. And then he announces it again. And then I'm like,
You have to
I
look.
had to turn around and look. There was some guy back there.
And
And then he didn't do anything. He didn't move. And so then the driver actually got off the streetcar, walked outside to the back door, came in the back door, and argued with the guy. And the guy eventually got off the streetcar.
really? Now
Tales of the
why
TTC.
why did he get off of the streetcar to go to the back? Why didn't he just walk right through the back?
I have no idea.
Maybe so that he had a getaway? I don't know. Interesting though.
So he had to get it. Or maybe so the guy didn't see him coming. I don't know.
Actually, I don't know, but that's interesting.
Surprise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would be worried about getting high too, like having to go to work, but then also smelling like it. You walk
Oh,
into
to like
work,
walk in smelling like a
yeah, it's
I just
like
smoked a
people,
fatty.
yeah, yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
It's
thank you
pretty
for the,
crazy.
yeah. I can't believe that he just, but yeah, I can believe it, but I also can't believe it. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you're alive and not
I'm
high.
alive. It's all good.
Hmm.
I'm alive. Yeah.
Good.
But I just need some books, so.
Yes, come on over. All right. Well, it was a good catch up with you,
Yeah, it
and
was good catching up.
yeah, absolutely. All right. I'll chat with you later, CeeLo.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for taking a seat at the table today. We love our dinner guests.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow The Dinner Agenda on the podcast platform you use so that you don't miss any new episodes. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Dinner Agenda.
We look forward to hearing your comments, questions, and even ideas you may have on future episodes.
Thanks for taking this journey with us.